This is plagiarism. One verse. Just produce one verse. And I put the Quran, the Arabic Bible, I put one side, and I put the Arabic Quran. I said. So while I'm telling, I said, look, you remember you challenged me? Can you do that? He said, yes. Now? He wants to get up there and then. I said, no, wait a minute, you'll have your turn. You'll have your turn. He had his turn. He left the Quran and the Bible, he didn't touch it. But he did do something. And the audience didn't catch the joke. Even it was difficult for me to catch what was going on. You see, there was something wrong in his delivery. He was speaking at 100 miles an hour. And then he was reading. He was not speaking, he was actually reading. And he had the preparation he had made. He wanted to read the whole thing through. Whether you understand or you don't understand, that means he did the job. He wanted to complete his job, read it all through. So while he was reading, something did sound like the Quran. I don't know, those of you who were there, you'll remember. He had this book with him, this green book. This is a new production of the Arab Christians. What's the title, ya Sheikh? It's hard for me to read.
Siratul Masih.
Siratul Masih. Right. Fasih Arabi. This is Siratul Masih. You know, this Sirah in the life of Jesus, you know, in the Fasih, in the eloquent Arabic. So he read from here, a chapter here, just a few lines if you read. This is what he read. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This one here, that's right.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu in kuntum tu'minuna billahi haqqan fa'aminu bi wa la takhafu inna lakum 'inda Allahi jannatin nuzula.
Right. So you see now what's happening? This is in the Fasih Baligh Arabic. They have now produced this as a challenge to the Quran. The Arab Christians have done this as a challenge to the Quran. Listen now, to the non-Arab, you can't judge, wallah. Because now the words are from the Quran. The words are from the Quran. They're using for their own now, but it's not the language of the Bible. It's insipid. There's nothing in it, you know, insipid. Even to the Arab, he realizes that there's nothing in it. Even the Arab Christian recognizes that there's nothing like the Quran. But so now, to compete with the Quran, you copy the Quran. So when you copy the Quran, you begin. Every chapter now begins. Of the Christian Bible, every chapter begins. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And this is competing with the Quran to say, look, we produce something. I said, you are stealing from my book. You are cribbing, you are stealing, and now you're saying, now look, this is like the Quran. Every chapter now begins with Bismillah, and the fellow does. You see, when we take the Quran, you open every chapter, it says Makkiyah, Surah, Makkiyah or Madaniyah. That this surah was revealed in Makkah or in Medina, in Makkah or in Medina. So they do the same. They do the same. So they say these surahs now, they say this is Maqdisi. Maqdisi. Maqdisi means Baitul Muqaddas in Jerusalem. Nowhere in the Christian Bible, anywhere, have they got this sort of thing now. Then the words I have marked in green. Everything is from the Quran. What they do, they call this new science. This is the new science. They call it contextualization. Contextualization. It was a new word for me. You see, they had given with this book secret instructions. That this must not fall into Muslim hands, the instruction book. But Allah is Musabbibul Asbab. You know, if you are in the field, the things that come to you unimaginable. So where did you get it, Mr. Deedat? I said, don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. Look, Allah Bari Ta'ala, He sends it. Because you are in the field. This is His job. That if you are working for Him, things keep coming your way. That means now you are prepared. Allah is preparing you beforehand. He's preparing you beforehand. He said, look, because otherwise it takes you off guard. He says, man, it sounds like the Quran. Could it be that they invented it? No. They're copying about from Surah Maryam. You read there, Zikru Rahmati Rabbika Abdahu Zakaria. So they start here. The same style. They copy the Quran. It's Zikru Ta'budi Zakaria Now the person doesn't say maybe, something, but it sounds similar. Then al-muttaqin, wa ma kana shaykhun kabir, lidkhul al-mihrab. All these are phrases from the Quran which they are putting in the New Testament to catch the Arab fish. That this Arab fellow, ignorant Arab, he will fall for this. So naturally, the Arab who understands is mispronouncing so many things. He reacts. He was lucky, that there was an exit from the back. Otherwise, I feared for him. Some of the things I didn't mention, something that you can remember, that the book that he gave me in the previous debate, you were there, ya Sheikh. He gave me that green parcel. He said, we Arabs, when we are taught that when we go to meet a friend, we don't go empty-handed. So he scored a point. Look, the Muslim went empty-handed. He came along with this parcel, he gave it to me. But he didn't know what he was doing. This is Allah's way. This Bible is one of the most valuable Bibles you can get. This is what is called a red letter Bible. Red letter Bible. Everything that Jesus spoke is in red. Easy for you to find. You know how much easy it makes for us now to talk to them? With this Bible. Red letter. Whatever Jesus said is in red. So let's say we accept that is Injil. Let us say that every word that Jesus spoke that is in red is we accept. For the sake of argument, we accept. So I said, let's have a look. What did Jesus say? You say the New Testament is the Injil? You said yes. So well, let's have a look. The New Testament has 27 books. 27 books. Out of the 27, in this particular one, 21 out of 27 has not got a red dot or a dash or a doodle. Not even a scribble. Not even a smudge. Not even a red smudge. 21 out of 27. How many percent is that? You work it out. Then in the New Living Bible, also red letter, 23 out of 27. There's not even a red dot or a dash or a doodle. And you say this is the Injil. You say this is the Injil. You didn't even quote Jesus. Leave out Jesus, God talking to him. But you didn't even quote Jesus in 23 out of the 24 books. He is not even quoted, not even once. And you say this is the Injil. However, in this so-called Injil, in this particular one, and there are many other Bibles, you find that Jesus is made to do funny things, silly things. I'm only reading from the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 21, verse 7. I didn't have chance to read it there. I read it for you. It says, they brought the donkey and the colt. Donkey and the colt. Laid their clothes on them, on the donkey and the colt, and set him on them. They made Jesus sit on them, 2 donkeys at a time. I said, what this man is, an acrobat or circus? What is he doing? Look, there's no misprint here. In the King James Version, you read, they set him, one man, on them, on the 2 donkeys. Can you imagine a Jesus riding 2 donkeys at a time? God revealed that. On them, is there. No, this is little wonder that today there are people in the world who think that Jesus was a myth. Coming to our subject, myth, a fairy tale. Things that they speak about him and things that happened in his time. That people came out of the graves. You remember I told you at the meeting there. In the Gospel of Matthew, that Jesus, when he was crucified, the graves opened up and the people came out of the graves and they walked the streets of Jerusalem, left, right, left. People, what, they were wearing napkins or skeletons? What? When you come out of the graves, after having slept there for 50 years, 100 years, what do you come out with? And they walked the streets of Jerusalem. Full stop. Full stop. What happened to them? What did they do? Nothing. Who saw them? Nobody. Out of the 27 books of the New Testament, only Matthew saw. Can you imagine? 26 books, there's not one word of such a stupendous happening. People in London or Birmingham coming out of the graves and walking the streets. And nobody sees. Wallahi, it will be world news. No? Even in some village in England, if this thing happened, it will be world news. The whole world will know by satellite. Everybody knows that, in certain little town or village in England, the people came out of the graves and walked the streets. And then what did they do? What did they do? They went back to sleep again. Can you imagine? You came out of the grave. Let's say it was you. You came out and you march with the group. And what do? Go back and sleep? Wouldn't you like to go and see your wife and children? Huh? So the people say, look, the world says that Jesus was a myth. This is a fairy tale. There is no such thing as Jesus. We believe that he was a reality. He was a historical person. And we need no proof. Allah Bari Ta'ala testifies to this in his holy book, that there was a woman called Maryam, and she bore a son without any male intervention. As Allah says in the Holy Quran, our Qari read from Surah Al-Imran.
This is why he didn't marry.
Yeah, we'll answer all your questions, inshallah, at the end of it. Why he didn't marry? Poor man, they didn't give him a chance. They didn't give him a break. The Jews didn't give him a break. From Surah Al-Imran, verse 52, our Qari was reading, and he read, Inna mathala Isa inda Allahi kamasali Adama khalaqahu min turabin thumma qala lahu kun fayakun. The similitude of the example of Jesus in the sight of Allah is like that of Adam. Khalaqahu min turabin, Allah created him from dust, and he says, kun fayakun, and he was created. So in other words, like Adam was a man, he is a man. And this is the testification of the Bible. Also, 83 times in the so-called New Testament, in the so-called Injil, 83 times, you read the title, Son of Man, Son of Man, Son of Man. In Arabic, Ibn Adam, Ibn Adam, Ibn Adam, Son of Man, Son of Adam.